It's Friday, March 17th, 2017, so St. Patrick's Day. It's 11:10 a.m. Pacific Daylight Savings Time. I am at the westmost entrance to Bertha's Cupboard Cave. I did a little recon of this cave yesterday, but didn't have time to do a whole cave video. Now I'm gonna hopefully go through the whole thing. This is a tiny entrance I gotta climb through. Most of the cave is much bigger though. So you can see it's only about 4 feet wide and 3 feet high here. So a little bit of work to crawl through, but nothing really dangerous. As long as you take your time, watch your head. Now, I'm gonna actually stop here a second. Okay, I'm gonna get out a second flashlight. There we go. Now I can see. This cave is kind of cool because instead of being one main tube, it's got a pair of tubes that are parallel, keep coming together and apart, kind of like Valentine Cave. But this is obviously a little more difficult than Valentine Cave. So as soon as I get my gloves back on. Alrighty then. So let me stand up here. The ceiling's about 7 feet tall here. So there's the way I climbed in. I found this cave a couple months ago, but there was snow at the entrances. It looked way too difficult to get in and out. Now that most of the seasonal snow is gone, a little more practical to climb in here and take a look around. Notice how the cave ahead is at least 20 feet wide. Ceiling's about the same. The floor's dropped lower. Okay. I'm gonna have to very carefully climb down here. The rocks are a little bit wet. Wouldn't want them to be slippery and have me fall to my death. Make sure the video's running. Oh, good. All right. Notice how the ceiling is nice and rough. Got a lot of small lava formations there. Notice how the ceiling, it suddenly gets lower there. It's a breakdown blocking the cave mostly here. Notice the gold arrows up and down. I guess that marks the way out since it's right by the entrance. So you can imagine if this breakdown rock wasn't here, it'd be very easy to walk into this cave. Notice how rough the wall is here. Pretty well preserved cave. It's kind of difficult to find. Mostly because this entrance is so small. There's a couple of bigger entrances, but those are a bit dangerous. I came down the middle entrance yesterday and it wasn't pretty. So, oh, check this out. I noticed this yesterday. Notice the floor. It's like some weird dirt. But the darker area is where it's dry. The lighter area, no, that's dark is where it's wet. The light is where it's dry. So there's obviously a huge dry spot in the middle of the floor, wet everywhere else. You can see there's water dripping from the ceiling right now. Try to leave zero trace, but obviously if I'm going to walk through here, I'm going to leave footprints. It's kind of unavoidable. Okay, I'm going to try to keep going to the left here. Going through the cave clockwise. Notice how it's reasonably straight, a little bit of curviness to it. Go quite a ways back there. Pretty nice. Being able to see that far. This is how the ceiling is rough. Let me pan up. It's like a little loop of lava there. Very rough ceiling. pretty well preserved formations. Not super big, but kind of pretty. Very rough. Well, there's an interesting elevated area up there. Not sure if there's a name for these nook and crannies. Notice there's some gold painting on the wall. I'm not sure. So there's an O into the left and then an arrow pointing down. I have no idea what that's supposed to mean, but anyway. Something tells me it's to help people navigate their way through, but if I don't know what the symbols mean, that doesn't help me any. But this cave isn't really a maze, it's just a pair of parallel tubes. So as long as you don't get confused by all the connections between the two main tubes, it's not that hard to figure out. So I'm going to go ahead and cross over just so I can keep going around to the left. Try to get through the whole cave clockwise. And then in a few months when it's drier, I'll come back and go through counterclockwise. The moisture, I'll show you later, there's actually still some snow and ice in this cave. Makes it a little bit dangerous and inconvenient to explore. Notice how the floor here, really flat. I'm gonna go ahead and crawl through here, or while I'm standing up, the ceiling's like 15 feet tall or more, it's really tall. So that's the way I just came. Even there, the ceiling's like 8 feet tall or more. I wanna look at these formations. I don't wanna damage them, get too close. But yeah, look how rough the ceiling is here. Lots of tiny lava formations. Look at the way the wall is peeling away there. I don't want to trample the floor. It's a really nice floor. I'm gonna see if I can step over here gently, get a peek back behind there. So yeah, that's how the wall, it peeled back as it was forming. Oops, I didn't want to step. I'm gonna look at this rock here. Look how rough this rock is. It's really, really rough. That's very pristine and fragile. So I should be try to stay to the trail here to minimize any damage to the rocks. Even rocks are fragile when they're really thin. Now look at the ceiling here. It's a really pretty gold on it, just like Golden Dome Cave. Some of the other caves around here. It's a type of bacterium grows up there. I heard it's a hydrophobic bacterium, but I'm not sure. I always see it where it's wet, so I don't know. Maybe it's hydrophilic and somebody screwed up the name. I'll have to look it up sometime. But whatever. So in this parallel tube, I'm heading back towards the west. And you can see this is kind of sort of a dead end. It gets, it's like one big tube now, but it's going to split vertically into two smaller tubes. Oh, wow. Yeah, I'm going to check this out. I want to see if I can do it without trampling any. Whoa. I just stepped on a rock. It had to weigh at least 100 pounds, but it was still loose. So it played teeter-totter under my weight. That's the thing I'm trying to avoid. Not just my own safety, but to protect the cave. So there's an obvious upper level there. It looks like it'd be really tight. I don't have knee pads, but maybe in the summer when it's dry, I'll come back and very carefully try to climb back there. And then down here, there's an obvious lower level. It's partly blocked by breakdown. But I can obviously get a little farther, especially if I go back over here